Alright, time for another spotlight on one of my jabos. Here now is a good time because it's got a lot of new growth out on it, and it's a pretty unique tree. This is the Campo Ramón or Campo Ramón. Not sure how you pronounce it, but Campo Ramon. I don't think it has a designated species yet, but I'm going to guess that it's probably its own, just because it has such a distinct kind of shape of a leaf, and even like the coloring is pretty unique. But anyways, just a really, really strong tree, at least for the Tampa area. It's so far been pretty close to Sabra in terms of like hardiness. And it seems to take, it does better when you give it rainwater, but you notice like it barely has any burnt tips. A lot of my other jabos have burnt tips on them, but the Sabras really generally don't. The Grimmels don't really seem to either. But I do water this thing with the city water, and it doesn't seem to mind it at all. But let's get like a close-up of how the new growth looks. And the camera can't really pick it up as well, but it really does start out as like a deep, deep reddish color, and it turns into kind of like an amber, and then into a brown, and then into a green. So it's just a very, very pretty looking tree whenever it's flushing out a lot of new growth. And then let's look at the bark too. So kind of a reddish colored bark on the newish growth, and then it starts to look a lot more like a Sabra on the trunk, I think. Let's see if we can look in there. But yeah, so there's your trunk. That'd be more like a Grimmel, actually. But yeah, pretty tree. I'm not sure how long it takes these to fruit. I'm sure it's probably pretty similar to a Sabra. But supposedly the flavor profile on these are like maraschino cherries. So that's kind of exciting, just have a different type of flavor on a jabo. I'm not sure what the type is. I know there's been discussions of astringent versus non-astringent online, and specifically in flying fox fruits. I don't know what this is in that regard, but I'll be happy to report back on that when we get some fruit on this thing. And I do see a lot of nice peeling bark down there when I looked a second ago, which is usually a good sign. Potential for fruiting. I don't think this one's going to for a while though. But what is that? It's in like is that a 5-gallon, maybe 7-gallon pot? It'll probably stay in this thing for another year or two. But when I got it, I believe it was about this size. So this one came from, I got it from John Travis Morton. I want to say last January. So it's gotten pretty big pretty quickly. So grows at a good rate, on top of not being fussy. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. You get a good kind of top-down view on it. Very, very pretty tree. Highly recommended if you can get your hands on one. And, yeah, anyways, take care.